Hi, I'm Marnie Pearson with SheLovesGod.com. I'd like to talk with you about why I chose the theme for this year's conference of forgiveness and kindness. It's really a personal thing for me, something that I've been digging into and trying to learn more about. And when I put the conference together, I brought in all these experts on forgiveness, and mainly because I wanted to learn from them. I wanted to know about how to forgive, and specifically, have you ever had to try to forgive someone that's in your life all the time? Maybe someone you keep bumping up against and you can't really get this person out of your life because they're a part of your life. And you love them, but there's maybe something in there that's annoying you or bugging you and you can't let it go. That was sort of me. That was me. And so I started this study of forgiveness. And I went recently to a training in Alabama called Simply Healed. It's Carolyn Cooper's Simply Healed training. And while we were there, this issue came up for me because we would we'd learn a principle. She'd teach us a way to remove a block or something in our energy system that we didn't want to be there. And it came up, this inability to forgive a person in my life. And so it wouldn't move for me that first day. And Carolyn came up to me and she said, well, just put in that you're willing to forgive, that you allow the possibility for forgiveness. And that was the first step. And then a day or so later, I was on my treadmill, and on the treadmill in the gym, and the thought occurred to me, I could forgive if I could trust my own discernment. If I could trust that I would have good judgment and I would have discernment and I could be protected, even if this person slipped into their old ways, I could still be protected. Then it would be okay for me to forgive. And I realized that was really true. So I went back to my room and I had a little time before class, and I pulled out my Bible and I looked in the topical guide for discernment. And I was led to 3 passages. And the first one had to do with Adam and Eve, about how in the garden they were given to know good and evil. That was part of the fall. That was part of the result of the fall, is that they were able to know good from evil. And so I realized, as a daughter of Adam and Eve, it's my birthright to know good from evil. Discernment is my birthright. It's your birthright too. Another verse that I found was in Ezekiel, and it was talking about how the priest taught the people to know the unholy from the holy. And I realized my whole life I've been taught to tell the holy from the unholy. I've been trained in discernment. So I have that background in it. Another one I found was where it says the Spirit knows everything. And as someone who has the Spirit with her, I have access to know everything. And I could know and have discernment and be warned ahead of time or and be protected. So I took these 3 truths that I found in the Scriptures, and I used the tools and things that I was learning from Carolyn about how to install these affirmations, these true statements into my subconscious mind, into my energy, and I plugged them in using the tools I was learning. And when I did it, I had this awakening that I was really able to forgive, and in that very moment, the forgiveness came, and it was so strong feeling of forgiveness that I'm free, and my weight and my heart was completely lifted on that subject. And it's changed the way I treat the person that is in my life. I don't look at them the same way, and I'm sure that will even grow and progress further as I go along, because I know it does take a little time for things to change and move from an energetic spiritual form into a physical form. But I'm already seeing changes in that relationship as a result. So ask yourself, if there's somebody in your life you can't forgive, what would it take for you to be able to forgive them? And then create your own theorem, if you will. I used to love geometry, and we'd learn these statements, if this, then that, and you build a case for something. And I know a lot of people don't like geometry, but build a case for forgiveness in your life. What would it take for you to be able to forgive, and then start looking for scriptures or truth in any way that you can find it that can back up your ability to get that underlying thing covered in your life so that you are free to forgive. It doesn't hurt the other person nearly as much as it hurts you in not being able to forgive. It weighs you down, it weighs on your mind, and it just brings a negative energy into your life. And it's so much more freeing and liberating to be able to forgive. So I hope that helps you in your quest to find forgiveness in your own life. God bless.